Hello, hello, good rising. Welcome to the Indigo Room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, Linda. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Indigo Room. This is another interactive live broadcast of the Indigo Room. Yeah, we chat, we talk, we laugh, we have fun. And if you want to join us, you can do that through the live stream link, which I'm going to put in the chat. But welcome to the Indigo Room. Today's topic is spiritual beings, human experiences, and today we're going to talk about the power of your imagination. So get your coffee, your drinks, whatever it is, your tea. I have mine right here. Get yours. You can get your, Indigo Room mug if you want to drink your tea with me on Sundays. We're going to be doing a series every week, every Sunday, human experiences, talking about human experiences that spiritual beings are having on the planet. Hey, Susanna. Hi, good rising. Hi, Barb. Good rising to you. Welcome, welcome back. It's good to be back, I have to say. But I'm your host, Sydney Chase, for those of you that are new. And this is the Indigo Room where we discuss all things spiritual. And by that, I mean that we're non-physical spiritual beings having physical human experiences, like our topic. And a life is supposed to be good. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be delicious, even when it's wicky-wacky-licious. Sometimes it gets wicky-wacky out here, y'all, in these planetary streets. But we have tools, and we talk about that here at the Indigo Room. And, it's time to start digging in our toolbox again, right? So I'm going to light the sage and send you guys some Palo Santo deliciousness and just chit chat with you and let everybody get into the room before we get started. Hi, Linda. How are you? How's it going in Oregon right now? Well, in your part of Oregon. How are you feeling? I know I talk to you every day. I keep tabs on you every day. Every day I keep tabs on you. How's it going? Hi, Susanna. Hi, Barb. What is going on in your neck of the woods? I hope everybody's safe, healthy, happy, feeling good as best as you can in these times. Get some sage and Palo Santo wood for you all. Feel the goodness. I'm going to take some for myself. They always say, you should sage yourself first and then sage everybody else. Well, I did it backwards today. I'm saging myself first. The air is still bad, but it doesn't smell. I'm okay. All right. Okay. The air is still bad. So that means that you're still staying inside and not going outdoors, I'm imagining. I know the air is really bad in California. That's what I've been reading and hearing from my friends who also, I have a lot of friends. I have friends in California. I have friends in Oregon. I have friends in Washington State. Just found out I, also have a friend in Montana and there were fires burning there. I had no idea. And Colorado. I have friends in Colorado as well. So I'm sending out healing and love to everyone and the fires and the animals and the firefighters, the first responders, because it is quite rough where everybody is right now. And that's, kind of what we're going to be talking about today, the power of your imagination. And I wanted to make this a little bit lighter, because there's a lot of stuff going on that's heavy all over the planet. But I mean lighter in the topic. Next week, we're going to get into some heavy stuff like politics and racial tension. It's all part of our human experience, actually. Even if it doesn't feel good, that doesn't mean that it's not a good thing that we're going through. You know, sometimes you have to go through rough challenges, you have to go through rough things in order to get to the other side. So you would not be able to have a experience of being human if it was all good all the time, every single day. And I know it would be nice, but then why would you need to be here? You wouldn't have any kind of experiential help. I mean, experiential experiences. You wouldn't have anything to help anybody with because you haven't gone through nothing, because everything is wonderful for you. Everything is fabulous, just delicious all the time. Well, you know, that's not the case. Linda said, yes, still staying inside. My mouse. My mouse disappeared. There we go. Still staying inside. Ash is in the air coming down. Rain predicted for this week. That's good. I heard that there was rain coming for all of you on the West Coast. Yep, we are praying rain, Barb says. Yes, we are. We're praying rain for all of the West Coast. We had so much rain on the East Coast. It was just kind of, I wish it would go west, you know? That's how I was feeling. Not that we don't need it. We need rain too. But I wish everybody was getting rain right now. So that is pray rain. Yep, praying rain. Not wishing rain, just pray rain. And when you pray rain, that means you see it raining. You feel it raining. You smell it raining. Hey, Susanna, how you doing? So today, I want to tickle our amygdala, as we always do. I cannot find my mouse. It just keeps disappearing. There we go. We're going to tickle our amygdala, as we always do. And if you're a new subscriber to the show, welcome. We had some new subscribers this week, so welcome to the Indigo Room. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't already, like the video. And if you are new and you're just watching us live right now, you know, check out the channel and see if you want to subscribe. And if you do, welcome. And if you don't, that's okay. We still love you. Bob says, my nephew is in Oakland. My nephew is in Oakland, and the photos from his apartment were incredible. Yeah, it looks like it's very apocalyptic looking out there right now, out on the West Coast. Everything is red or orange. It's just crazy. And the amount of forests that have burned has been incredible. And it was, I believe, the fire started out in California by a gender reveal party. Somebody just wanted to tell everybody that they were having a boy and used pyrotechnics and it exploded, caught fire, and here we are. I don't understand why you just can't call people. Send a text. Everybody got to have a gender reveal party. I don't even understand it. But hey, you know, that's what you want to do, fine. But just be mindful of people, lives that you are affecting if you're going to have techniques in the middle of a drought. Not a good thing. So I think they're probably going to be brought up on charges or something, I would imagine, doing that kind of craziness. Anyway, I hope your nephew stays safe, Barb, and everybody out there stays safe. I know there's a lot of people that have lost homes and lost lives, so we are sending out our love. Yeah, pyrotechnics, they didn't think of the possibilities. Apparently not. No. Mm-mm. I just need to open up my window because I don't have my air on because it's very cool here in New York City right now. Just going to get a little bit of a breeze. Anyway, we're going to tickle our amygdala. And today we're going to discuss your imagination, the power in your imagination. I got a story for y'all. Some of you already heard the story, so you can just sit back and relax, right? But I'm going to tell my story about using the power of my imagination. And, if you have stories about using your imagination, I would love for you to share them. And Linda is in the blue room. I see you popping over there, Linda. How you doing? I see your head. All right, we're gonna pull you up in a minute. So we're gonna tickle our amygdala. That's what we're doing. And where is your amygdala? Your amygdala is well, it's not going across. All right, I don't know. Can you see it? Your amygdala is right here above your temple. So if you ever get stuck about where your amygdala is, some people think, it might mean something else. It's not, it's in your brain. It's a beautiful brain hack. And we use it every week, every time we have the Indigo Room show. And you can use it at any time. Like I used it yesterday because, I was not prepared to do a job that I was asked to do yesterday. And I was feeling all wicky wacky about it. And I was like, okay, you need to calm down. Tickle your amygdala, check. Tickle it. Tickle your amygdala. And then by the end of, the day, it was all great. So I want you to imagine that you have a feather in your hand. Okay, I'm going to take this off now because we don't need to. I don't know why it's not showing. Imagine that you have a feather in your hand. It's your feather. You decide what color it is, how long it is, how wide it is, how small it is. It's your feather. So imagine that you have a feather in your hand. Close your eyes and feel the feather. Imagine the color of the feather, what it feels like. Is it soft? Is it bristly? Where did you get your feather from? How did you procure your feather? Did it just fall out of the sky? Did you go pluck a chicken? Just kidding. Just imagine what your feather feels like. It's all in your imagination. Get a really good feel for it. Really, really good. Feel those bristles. Feel what it feels like. Mine is soft and it's a little wobbly. And it's purple today and gold. And then once you get that really good in your imagination, you're going to lift your feather up to the center of your forehead and then slide it in. Imagine that you're sliding this feather in the center of your forehead. And then you're going to slide it over to the right side of your head and tickle your amygdala on the right. And then slide it over to the left and then tickle your amygdala on the left. And then bring it back to center. You might want to tickle your frontal lobe if you feel like it and pull it out. That's it. Done. Finished. Easy peasy. It's a wonderful thing. And if you are smiling, you did it right. And if you're not smiling, well, try it again. Try. No, do it again. Not try, do. Sylvia, hi, Sylvia. Welcome. Good to see you. Susanna said, I do not understand the whole gender reveal. I don't either. Oh, now the tickle your amygdala is going across the screen. Let me go take it off. Because we're done with that now, tickling your amygdala. We're done. We're done with that. Okay? It's over. I don't understand the whole gender reveal thing. I don't either. I don't know what. It's still going. Let me get weird. Okay, cool. Whew. All right, that was annoying. I'm not sure why people do that. But it is what it is. But now we have, a bad forest fire. Now, this thing is not acting correctly. It's overlaying everything on top of everything. Do you guys see that? No? Okay. Linda said, no, you don't see it. I see it. It's annoying. All right. Well, you don't see it. So let's see what pops up now. I have like 1,000 different things popping up at one time. Sylvia said the groupie is here. Hi, groupie. Good to have you join us. Welcome to the Indigo Room. So I did say I'm going to bring Linda out now. She's going to join us. Yeah, that's the bottom line. Reveal it by saying it's a boy or it's a girl. Send me a text message. I'm good. I mean, I'll come to your shower and everything, after COVID is over. Just send me a message. I'm okay with that. My banners are not working. I'm going to add Linda to the stream. Let's see if that works. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Okay, now I can't hear you.
Because I barely said anything. Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you.
Ah.
Can anybody hear Linda?
Let me turn off the mic.
Now we have a nickname for you, Sylvia.
How about now?
The groupie. The groupie is here.
Ah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you a little story that I'm going to preface this with my story about using my imagination very recently. Okay. So you all know where I work. Linda, is it talk? Can you talk?
I'm talking now. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm going to.
You look good, though. All right. I'm going to take you off the screen. And then you can see if you can fix it. You guys can hear her, and I can't hear her. Oh, maybe that's the reason. All right. Let me try it again. Yeah. Okay, Linda, come back. Come back. All right. She'll come back. You guys could hear her, but I couldn't. All right. So we'll fix it. And then I will be able to hear Linda too. So we're talking about the power of your imagination today. And the reason why I wanted to do that is because we are in a time where we really need to make sure we're practicing and doing the things that work. Well, I know they work. And I believe enough of you that follow the Indigo Room and read Neville Goddard or have read Neville Goddard know that they work, right? Some of the tools that we have, the power of our imagination. Our imagination is our greatest tool because what you think about, you bring about. What you feel about, you bring about. And those two things are together create your reality, right? Now, individually and collectively. So we are spiritual beings having human experiences, but we also have tools that we came here with. Yeah, they could hear you, Linda. I think it was me, so I think I fixed it. I'm going to bring you back.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yay!
Now. Awesome. I think I may have to put my headphones on, but let's see how it goes. You're not getting any feedback, right? From me? Okay. All right, cool.
Crystal clear.
Yes. Awesome. Okay. So I was thinking about, a lot of the experiences that we're having, all of us collectively and individually. And it's important for us to get back and maybe some of you haven't stopped or, haven't stopped using your imagination, but, we get distracted, right? We get distracted by all of the things that are happening around us, to us, and we forget that we are powerful beings and we have the ability to change what we're experiencing. Not just by, saying, oh, I'm choosing to not experience that. That's not what I'm saying. That's ignoring something. Something sitting right in front of your face and you're just gonna bury your head in the sand and ignore it. Ignoring something means that you're aware that it is there, right? So if you ignore it, it's not just going to go away because you ignore it. You know it's there. So if you know it's there, it's already in your vibration. But you can change your experience of it, or you can create something different, something new, something that is very powerful for you. So I want to just encourage you all, if you have never read Neville Goddard, to go look at some of our videos that we've done over the course of the last year. And we were reading Neville Goddard's book, Resurrection. And if you listen to our old podcasts on the Indigo Room on TalkShoe, there's tons of information about Neville Goddard there as well. Or you can just Google them. You can do that. But the power of our imagination allows us to be able to change our experience. However, there's a caveat. You can't be so wicky-wacky all up in your experience and then jump into your imagination and immediately change the situation to something better, because your vibration is wicky-wacky. So if your vibration is down here at a low level and you want to experience something up here that's up at a high level, so you can see my hand, then you have some work to do, right? You have to pull yourself up in your imagination, in your vibration, in your whole experience in order to match what it is that you want to be, do, have. Because what you want to be, do, have has already been created. It's already been given. You have to create the match within yourself. So how do you do that? That's always the difficult part. That has always been the difficult part for me. I'll be like, I'm doing it. How about you, Linda?
Oh yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. How come it didn't manifest for me yet? You know, I remember a time when I was riding the subway and I had like $2. Okay. I had enough to get uptown, didn't have enough to get back downtown. Right. And I said, well, I'm going to go uptown. But, you know, I got these $2. How am I going to get back downtown? And I was feeling good, but I was well aware that I only had $2. I was well freaking aware. So my vibration was at $2. Even though I was feeling good, even though I was saying all of the right things, I was thinking about money or thinking on money. It's like I have tea in my cup. Tea's not on the cup. This would be on the cup. It's not in the cup. So you could be thinking on something, but then you have to immerse yourself in it, literally. You have to be in it. So you have to be in the money cup. You have to get in the money cup. And how does that feel? And you can't feel angst. And that's the problem. A lot of us feel anxious going into our imagination, and we create more angst. We create more wicky-wacky. So you want to be in your imagination and not have any attachment to the outcome. How's that going to work? How are you not going to have any attachment to the outcome? That's impossible, Sydney. I am attached to it because I want it. That's right. But how are you going to be unattached or detached to the outcome? Well, you have to play around with your own imagination and start off imagining something that you're not necessarily attached to. Like, I don't know, the weather in your neighborhood, or maybe you just want to hear more birds singing in the morning when you wake up. That's something that, you know what? If it happens, you're not upset. If it doesn't happen, you're not upset. That's what I mean about being non-attached to something. And if you go into your imagination You want to actually immerse yourself in the scene. You don't want to be looking at yourself in your mind like you're looking at me right now, like you're looking at Linda right now, like we're on a TV screen. That's not being in your imagination. And I think that is a lot of the mistakes that people make when they're talking to people about being in their imagination. You literally have to be in it. And that's why I love Neville so much. Because Neville tells you that. You got to be in your imagination. How do you feel about that, Linda?
Yeah, it's when you really get into it and actually feel what's going on, um, that's what makes the difference. Then it goes. And sometimes you got to do it. You're doing it at night or whatever, and then you're thinking about it, and then boom, you think it's done, and then you start thinking about, well, how's it going to happen? Or again, like you said, get attached to the $2. I only have $2. So then you have to go back and do it again.
Right.
What's nice about doing it, when you're on your way to sleep, those kind of negative things for me, don't seem to pop up as much. It's just, yeah, I imagine it here. So you're not pulling that stuff in.
Right, right. Drifting off to sleep is your most effective way that you will use the power of your imagination. If you're drifting off to sleep and you're just hitting your pillow like, okay, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Well, that you're missing an opportunity. That's what Linda's trying to say, really. You're missing an opportunity every night before you drift off to sleep to actually imagine your life the way you would like to experience it. One of the things that I drift off to sleep often during this whole pandemic was in my mind, I would go to a place in my imagination, I would be remembering when we were in the pandemic. Now, Sydney, how could that possibly, how could you be remembering when we're in the pandemic, when we're in the pandemic? Well, thank you for asking that question. I literally go create in my imagination a place, a time, a frame of reference where I'm experiencing the after of being in the pandemic. So right now, today, we're in the pandemic. In my imagination, I go to a space and time where there's no pandemic. So I go to a no pandemic space and I stand in my imagination talking to a friend or a relative and I say, I remember when we were in the middle of a pandemic. And they go, yeah, I remember that too. I'm so glad we're not in that now. Something to that effect. And then I drift off to sleep. And I wake up in the morning. And the thing is, you have to try to wake up in the morning or the new day, good rising, and stay in that space of I remember when. And the more often you do that, the quicker you can move to the experience of not being in the pandemic. I live in New York City and we were ground zero for that. Right now, yesterday, I think, everybody in New York City was outside. The whole city, everybody was outside. Having fun, walking around. I heard music, I heard cars. There was a big party in the back, and people had their music going, and it was a normal sound for me. I just stood outside of my apartment and I absorbed all of the sound. And I remembered when I was standing outside of my apartment having a conversation with my neighbor saying, I remember when we were in the middle of the pandemic. Now, is the pandemic over for us here? No. But it's different. It's very different. And I just stood outside and absorbed what I was experiencing in that time frame, that moment, that moment of just observing everyone take their first deep breath outside, so to speak. Because I'm telling you, everybody was out. Cars was out, people riding their motorcycles, children on bicycles. You could hear babies crying, dogs barking. It's been silent here for 6 months. Literally, you can hear pin drops most of the time we went outside. So what I want to also share with you is an experience that happened to me. So Linda, I'm going to pull you down for a minute, and then I'm going to bring you back up. Last month, no, July. This happened in June. You all know where I work. I have told you a million times already. And if you don't know where I work, well, you know, figure it out. Anyway, I was at work. And my job is repetitive. Pretty much most of the time, what I do. Where I'm, you know, this particular spot that I was working in that day was very repetitive. And often what I do while I'm at my job is I go off into my imagination and I take flight. You know, I go someplace that is fun, that is a happy place. Sometimes I go to other dimensions. But this time I decided I was going to Africa in my imagination. Now, I've never been to Africa. I don't know if I was on the East Coast or the West Coast. I don't know. All right. I just know in my spirit, in my mind, in my imagination, in my thought process, that's where my physical body was in my imagination. And I was on a beach while I am still at my job, moving the boxes. Okay. But I was gone. Like, you saw me standing there, but Sydney, was no longer present. I was present. There was a part of my consciousness that was present enough to do my job. But the big part, the subconscious part, the big part of me was out. She was hanging out on a beach, looking good. Now, the funny thing is, or not the funny thing is, the most important thing is, I couldn't see myself like I'm looking at a TV screen. I could only see myself as I do now. Like, I can't see my face unless I'm looking at the video. I can see my face if I'm looking at a mirror. So I couldn't see my face in my imagination. I could see the front parts and, you know, my hands. I could see my arms. I could see my legs. I could see my chest. Can't see my neck. Can't see any of this. Don't know what this was. Don't know what this was looking like, but I could feel it, right? So I could feel the breeze from the ocean hitting my face. A little bit of a spray. It was quite delicious, and I could see my feet. My toes were painted. I had on a nice sarong, long, skirt, and I was sitting on a chair on the coast of Africa, on a beach, enjoying myself. And I look with my mind's eye and my physical eye, and I see this man walking across the beach coming towards me. Now, the thing of it is, I couldn't really see his face. I still don't know. In my imagination, I did not look at his face, really. I saw his top, his torso, and his legs. And he had on a white shirt. He was African, black. And he had his shirt open slightly. Wind was blowing. And he had on white pants billowing in the wind. No shoes as he was walking across the sand to get to me. So he gets to me and he sits down in the sand on my left side and he leans on my knee with his elbow. This is all in my imagination now, okay? So he says to me, tell me the story of when we first met. And I chuckled and I said, he said, because I love the way you tell it. Now, at that time, I wasn't dating anybody, okay? I'm a single woman. So I was having fun in my imagination. And he says, tell me the story of when you and I first met. And I said, okay. And I said, well, now this is in my imagination. I said, well, we met while we were working at Amazon during the pandemic. And I saw you and you saw me and you walked up to me and you said, your eyes, you're so beautiful. That's what you said. You said, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And I said to you, how do you know I have a mask on? And you said, your eyes are so beautiful. There's a window to your soul. That's how I can tell. And I chuckled. And then that was the end. That was the end. Why? Because somebody from work called me and said, Sydney, we need you over here to do whatever. So that broke me up out of my reverie. And that's what Neville talks about, being in reverie, right? Feeling so good. I mean, I felt it all. I felt his arm leaning on my knee. I felt the wind. I felt the chair. I felt the sand underneath my feet. And it wasn't a long process. It really wasn't. It was very short. All of that was maybe the span of, I don't even think 5 minutes. It wasn't more than 5 minutes. All right. I moved on. I forgot all about it. To be truthful, I was just having a good time. I was just having fun. And it felt delicious. Felt great. And I had no attachment to it whatsoever. None. The next week, I was at work. And this is the following week now. July 2nd. Know the date exactly. I went to another area of the place where I work. I went to another area. I work on the ship dock. I went to another area of the ship dock. And I had to go get a battery for my computer. And I go over to this area. This gentleman is there. And I says, can I get one of these? Can I take this battery, switch it out? And he says, he looks up at me and he says, are you African? I'm like, what? Why would you ask me that? I said, I don't know. I guess, my ancestors probably are African, but I'm born here. No, I'm not from Africa. But, some of my ancestors probably were. He said, oh, you are beautiful. I said, what? He says, you are beautiful. I got my mask on. I go, okay, thank you. He says, I said, how can you tell I'm beautiful? I have on a mask. He says, your eyes are very clear. They're beautiful. Window to your soul. That was it. I was done. I said, okay, Neville. I'm always shocked. Okay? I'm still always shocked when stuff like that happens. Linda, I'm back. I'm still always shocked when, I do stuff in my imagination and I'm not attached to it and then it shows up. I mean, that took like less than a week, literally. happened to you?
I've had things really speed up. Like
Right?
I'll think of something like, oh, uh, I need to call Monica, and then I'll get a text, or she'll just call me like within the same day, sometimes within the same hour.
Right.
So I get a lot of that. Small, there's small stuff, but it shows me it's working. Or I'll think, um, like this just happened this morning. Um, I was sitting on the side of my bed, and I've been trying to figure out a desk height in my office because I need a bigger desk. And it's like, I don't want to spend a ton of money on the desk. And then, um, I was imagining how it would look. And I had seen something before. And then it was like, boom. Oh, two sawhorses and a Varathaned door. It just popped into my head today, and I've been sort of thinking about it for the week. How am I going to do this? And I'm imagining, I really like the way this thing looked. I saw it a couple of days ago on a YouTube channel. I was really like that. And I was thinking about that. Now, how can I, and then this morning I pretty much woke up and there was my answer.
It is so good to be able to get into your imagination and literally play. If you don't make it so difficult, Neville often said for us to be like children, right? To get in there and just play and have fun, but not be so attached to it, not bring all of your angst to it, not bring all of the, why is this not happening? Why can't I create this? I was just having fun in my imagination. And the actual scenario played out at my job. And now the gentleman that, was saying all this stuff to me, he's from Africa. He's African. So we went out on a date twice. We talked to each other quite frequently, often, every day. Okay, every day. And when we on the phone, we have long conversations. Nobody wants to be the first person to hang up. Did I create him? Did he create me? Was this part of what the universe already created and I just raised my vibration to match it? A whole lot of questions, right? However, I was not in a wicky-wacky state about being single. I was not feeling desperate about being single. I was not feeling, oh, woe is me about being single. I just wanted to have some fun. And I went in there and I said, and he said, and I used the I remember when technique that Neville talked about. So I was in Amazon working in my imagination, remembering when, and remembering when we first met. Now had never met. I didn't know who he was. I have never met this man before. And the funny thing is, I never seen him before in Amazon the whole time I've been there. He's been there, I just never saw him. He apparently never saw me. We never saw each other until that day. Less than a week from the actual day that I said, that I went into my imagination. So how are you all using your imagination? And are you using your imagination to create the reality that you would like to experience? And if you're not, why not? Because we have an opportunity to collectively change the trajectory of the direction that we're already going and we're heading. You can put the brakes on where you're going, Like if I decided, oh, woe is me, I'll never get married, I'll never meet a person, I'll never blah, 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 and brought that into my imagination, how difficult is it going to be for me to raise my vibration up to the level to where the person that I really would like to meet is at? Barb said, let me see if this will work now. Because this app wasn't showing up. Now it's not showing. It's still for me.
It's showing up.
Okay, because for me, I still see Susanna. Barb said, once I wrote about how I was so happy to be sitting in my backyard near the outdoor pool, waiting for my children and grandchildren to visit. And if the weather turned, we'd go in to hang out and swim in the indoor pool. I felt so happy envisioning that. 2 days later, I got offered a job house sitting for people traveling. They had an indoor and outdoor pool. I got paid and we became friends. Hey, look at that. I was still able to keep my radio job, get home to take care of the 2 dogs and cats, swim, live in luxury. A month at a time sometimes. That's awesome. But we tend to forget, when we are immersed in the reality of what is happening in the world or in our lives, that we are powerful beings and that we have the ability to change it. And your imagination is your biggest, most powerful tool. And doing the I remember when technique is a powerful tool. I remember when we first talked about this on the Indigo Room on Talk Show. And I remember getting a message from Susanna. This was years ago, 2009, I think. And Susanna, I don't know if you're still here, if you remember, but you just at that time couldn't wrap your mind around the whole I remember when experience, but I think you got it now. I remember when is looking at your experience that you're having now. So if I'm living in Staten Island and I want to move to another state, let's say, I would remember when I was living in Staten Island, even though I'm still living in Staten Island. How could I be remembering living in Staten Island if I'm still living in Staten Island? That's impossible. That's crazy talk, Sydney. Well, not if I'm in my imagination living someplace else. I could come back in my imagination and visit Staten Island and go, I remember when I used to live in that building. And then get back in my car, plane, or whatever, and go back to where I, live now. Because nothing in your reality is concrete. Nothing. It is all fluid. It is all ever changing. So we, as the spiritual being having the human experience, can change the script. We can change the script whenever we get good and ready. But you got to know that you have the power to change the script. Had I known, I might have chosen, to live someplace else before in my imagination. Had I known what was going to be, what was going to transpire, but I didn't. So you only have what you have right now. You only have what you're looking at right now. And what you're looking at right now can change based on what you do in your imagination. And it can change with the quickness. I feel like right now we're in a space and time that I know Linda says the veil is gone. I still say the veil is still there, but it's very thin. But we're living in a space and time where what you do in your imagination can manifest for you so quickly that it makes your head go. Trust me, when he said those words to me, as I'm listening to them, because I'm the only one that knew I did that in my imagination. I'm the only one that knew that I had those words come out of his mouth. And what I said to him was, I remember I'm telling him the story of when we first met and we had not met yet. I'm the only one that knew that. And so when we actually meet in the physical reality, like, okay, what, how did you, how did you know? How did you know? What were you thinking? I mean, how did you know that how did you know to say those words to me? He didn't. I created those words and he just played them out. Neville often says that we're all actors, right? We're all actors in this. Shakespeare said it too, but we're all actors. And you are the producer, the director, the actress, the actor, the playwright. You are the one that's creating your story. And you have an opportunity right now as a powerful being to recreate and change and shift your story. But you got to get your vibration too out of the wicky wacky doldrums, at least for a time being, depending on what it is that you want to create, be, do, and have. So I love that story, Barb, that you talk about with uh, your family. But what are some of the ways that you also could create your reality in a little different way than what we're experiencing right now? Like, how can we apply these techniques to the way we're living right now and what we're experiencing right now? Because there has to be some light at the end of the tunnel, I think. And if we all continue to just talk about what is, but then don't get into our imagination and switch it up and change it, we're going to go down a really crazy path. I think we're heading in a really crazy path if we all don't get in there and do some work and have some fun, but do some work. You just can't be attached to it. What do you think, Linda? What's going on in your brain?
I agree. And it's like, oh, I kind of fell down on the, I remember when stuff. And I'm just like, I'm thinking of some stuff now. And I go, oh, better. I think I'll do that now. I am going to do that now, and it's like, yeah, there's a couple of things that I realize now. It's like, okay, because I get into this, I'm in a different place, I think, than some other people. I don't have to work for a living. I'm retired and I'm comfortable. So I'm really enjoying not having to, quote, work. And I'm able to do a lot more creative stuff. And I'm happy doing that. But I also feel like I'm kind of I'm kind of static in a way. I mean, I'm learning some things, but in terms of getting to know people in my neighborhood and getting to know the community, the new community I'm living in, I really haven't pursued that. And it would be nice to do that. I was doing it on one level, but COVID made part of it kind of hard to do because we don't meet in person. So, yeah. So anyway, I think I'm to the point now where I want to, meet other people in the neighborhood and stuff. And being a bit of an introvert, it doesn't bother me to go days without having to meet somebody or, go to the quote coffee shop or whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, those are the things that I think I can definitely I don't want to say work on, but I feel like I can do. I remember when and
Right.
see what happens. I mean, I'm open and I don't really have any expectations, but I could do something as simple as I remember when I only had one friend in the town I
Right.
lived in.
Right.
Yeah, and that just leaves it open to whatever the universe is going to bring into my
Right.
space.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
remember when, and I only had one friend in the neighborhood while you're in the middle of a barbecue, let's say, or
Mm-hmm. Right.
while you're um at a coffee shop talking to
Mm-hmm.
several people, or um, just feeling that feeling. And
Yeah.
it is so it is such a and it doesn't have to be a long thing. That was a
Yes.
kind of a mind blower for me again, because even though, we do these short scenarios, and I've always said it doesn't have to be long. In my imagination, long is like 15 minutes to me, right? Or 30 minutes. This was short. This was like not you. I gave you the whole conversation. It was just that conversation. That was it, because somebody pulled me out of my reverie. And then immediately I had to go off and do something else. And I forgot all about it. I forgot that I even did it until he said, "Oh my God, you're beautiful." Oh, I'm looking around because I'm like, who are you talking to? Somebody must be standing behind me. And the words that he said at that point, I mean, it was not a whole book. It was he just matched what I said in my imagination. And so now we're still talking and still having fun. And it's still a joy to talk to him. He makes me laugh. He makes me smile. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's wicked funny. Oh my God. He has me laughing. So when you match what it is that you're wanting to experience, it will show up for you. Barb said, I remember, okay. I remember when I was anxious about so much, I feel happiness, relief, calm, knowing all is well. I feel financially secure. And Linda, sometimes I affirm people want to meet me and to get to know me. It makes this introvert relax and never fails. Someone new in the neighborhood or where I go is friendly, starts talking to me. That's cool, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. Because I'm an introvert too, even though I seem like an extrovert. I know people always say to me, "Oh, you're so extroverted." I really am not. I really am not. I'm a homebody. I would much rather be in my a little apartment, putzing around, doing my stuff. I want all my things around me. I'm good. I don't never have to go out. Like, so that's why when we were talking, when everybody was talking about sheltering in place, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm ready. And then I was the one that had to go out to work every day. So I was like, wait, what? Wait, what? I gotta do what? Oh man. I was ready to hunker down. I was ready to hunker down and be in my little space for 6 months. What? I was just like, okay, if that's what we got to do, I'm good. I could be in here all day, every day, just me and my computer. As long as I got electricity, food, I'm good. Books, dog, cat, I'm good. Bird. Yeah, that didn't happen for me though. So I had to go out in it every day. But everyone thinks that I'm an extrovert, and I really am not. I'm just I make myself do these things that are out, because I'm a nerd and I'm an introvert. I would much rather be. You could leave me in the house all day long. I'll find something to do. I don't care. I mean, I'll go for walks or whatever, but I don't have to be around a whole lot of people. And a whole lot of people, stress me out after a while. When I was on the radio, Barb says, when I was on the radio, people couldn't believe I was an introvert and shy. They thought I was kidding. Yeah, Most people, I'm telling you, everybody thinks that, and because I'm an actress, they really think I'm an extrovert. I'm not. Nope. I'm good. I'm all right being right here by myself. And if you ever see me at a party or something, you'll see me. I'm a wallflower. Usually, I'm not the one flitting around from person to person, talking to everybody. Um, that's not me. I have to feel the room, and if I don't know anybody in there, oh my god, it gets worse. I'm just.
Oh yeah.
If I know the people there, I'm fine. If I don't know the people, I'm gonna have to have like several glasses of wine first before I start talking to anybody. I don't, that's just, I guess that is from being so shy when I was younger. But, and my heart races before every Indigo Room live. I got to get myself together every single time I click the live button. It's not easy. It's not easy being Sydney. I make it look fun, but it ain't fun right before it clicks. And even now, I'm bugging out, so it's always, things aren't always as they seem. So don't, even, Linda, this is for you, but get into your imagination and, do that. I remember when, and you'll have friends in no time. Well, you have friends, but you know what I mean. You'll have more
Yes.
friends in your area.
In the neighborhood, yeah.
Yeah. Like right now, I don't really have friends in the neighborhood. I have one friend, and that's my older friend that lives across the street. That's it. I go visit her, and we garden or whatever. And the majority of my friends that I grew up with, they all moved to different places. So when I came back to New York City, I came back home. I know the area. But everybody I know is just about gone. And my sister right now, who's one of my best friends, she's in Switzerland for 6 weeks. So just as the shelter in place and everything starts to be lifted and I can travel to go visit, she goes to Switzerland to hang out with her friends. So my soon-to-be brother-in-law, I like to call him Tommy. But anyway, being in your imagination is probably one of the easiest things and one of the most fun things you can do to bring about the reality that you want to experience. And again, if you release your attachment to it, just get in there and have fun. I mean, you can create all kinds of things, right? You can create all kinds of scenarios. Our minds go every which way all day long. We're on Facebook, we're on social media, we are on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on whatever. We're looking at other places and all these other things outside of ourselves to help us create the reality that we want when the power really is within us. So the I remember when technique is probably one of my most favorite Neville techniques that I've been using for years. And it never fails. Sometimes it takes longer than other times to show up outside of your reality, outside of, from within to outside. It just depends on where your vibration is at the time that you're creating the scenario. I moved back to New York with I Remember When. And one of the pictures I had on my desktop and I had in my apartment was me looking at, not me though, it was seeing the Manhattan Island from a Staten Island view. And I would look at that every day and go, yeah, I remember when I used to live in Pennsylvania while I was still living in Pennsylvania. Because how could I be looking at a Manhattan view if I am in Pennsylvania? So I would physically, in my imagination, mentally, and put myself on a Staten Island side looking at a Manhattan view. And the view that I saw when I came back home was exactly that. You can see it from this apartment, that view.
Cool.
So um, it's not difficult to do. It's just when you come out of it, you don't want to come out of your imagination and out of your reverie going, well, where is it? How come it hasn't shown up? That was not even a question in my mind when I went into my imagination and I was playing. And I often go into my imagination and I play in my imagination when I'm doing work that's repetitive, because our minds wander to all kinds of things, right? When you're in a repetitive motion, you start thinking about the bills, you start thinking about your dog, you start thinking about your cat. Like Cleopatra wasn't feeling good the last week. She wasn't feeling good. She's an older dog. She's 13 years old. She wasn't feeling good. She was having difficulty coming up the steps, and she was tired and panting and all this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give you I'm going to give you some extra boost of extra stuff in vitamins in your food, but I'm going into my imagination and remember when you were not feeling well. And that's what I did one day while I was at work. I can't even remember what day it was now. And while I was working, doing my repetitive work, I remembered when Cleopatra was not feeling well. And she was not feeling well that moment. When I left to go to work, she was not feeling well. And I just went into my imagination and saw her laughing, barking. She was laughing, dogs laugh. She was feeling good in my imagination. She was running and, hopping around, and she had a little thing in her eye, and her eye had cleared up, and she was just feeling all kinds of doggy-licious. Yesterday, when I came home from work and I came to get her and take her outside, she really wasn't barking the last week when I got home. I would have to call her to the door. She was at the door. Come on, Mom, let's go. I went, all right, okay. I'm powerful in my imagination. Dad nabbit. Her eye had cleared up. She was running around outside, full of energy, back to her normal self. Now, you could say whatever it was ran its course. Good, fine, say that. I don't care. I know what I did in my imagination. I had no attachment to it because I know that she's an older dog. And I am happy that I have this time that I got to spend with her. And I would love more time to spend with her. And if it was her time to go right now and she decided it was time for her to leave, then it would be time for her to leave. But she rebounded back. She felt that whole vibration and she rebounded back, and she's back to her normal, fun, crazy, barking self. Now, did when she was quiet, it was kind of cool, but I was nervous. I was worried about her. Now I'm not worried about it because she's back to herself. And the other thing that happens as you are doing more imagination work and you are raising your vibration, and it's 10 minutes after 2, so I'm gonna, wrap this up, is you will start to experience life very differently. Just yesterday, uh, I have a love-hate relationship with my job. I've said it a million times. Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with that place. I love it, and I don't love it at times. But yesterday, Um, I'm now a training ambassador, is what they call it. And so I train new hires when they come in. And um, so it's a different position that I'm in. So I'm in two new positions that I got in the last, I don't know, since March. And the people all of a sudden, everybody, everywhere. I was walking through the plant, taking my new associates around and showing them the plant, and giving them instructions on what their next job is going to be like, and what they need to do, and training them and getting them ready for. It's 2 days. I do a 2-day training with them. And yesterday I had another person that I had to train. And so it was 3 days of training. I was tired. The girl was tired. I was just done. And because walking 18 football fields all day, back and forth, you're walking all day. So all of us, this is new. This is I noticed it yesterday, but this is something new that's happening for me. Everybody, I don't even know these people. Okay, because I go off by myself and stay in little Sydney land, and that's where I work. I'm an introvert. I like working by myself. I go in my little corner where my desk is, and I just work and do my job, and then I go home. And all of a sudden, I got 100 million people. I'm exaggerating. Hi, Sydney. Good morning. Waving to me. People that didn't seem to like me before and know my name. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. My vibration is a little bit different, but it was interesting. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting day yesterday, and all the stars were closer yesterday to the planet. So close, living in New York City, I was able to actually see them right before I went to work. I walked outside, as is my habit. I look up at the sky quite frequently. That's something that I do, always have been, always do. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for spaceships to come take me home. I'm not sure. It's been like that since I was a kid, always looking at the sky. So I come out, I walk in Cleopatra, I look up at the sky, and I could see it felt like every star in the planet, in the universe was shining yesterday. That doesn't happen in New York City. You can't see the stars like that because of all the lights. You may see one, you may see Jupiter, but that's not a star. That's a planet. You may see Venus. That's not a star. That's a planet. But the stars yesterday were just amazing. Looked like we were in a planetarium. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the Earth shifted its pattern, or we are on a different trajectory, or we're headed somewhere else. But I believe that the sun has changed its position too. So pay attention to what you're putting in your imagination and what is showing up for you. Make a note. Write these things down so that you can come back later and do a check and look at the date that you did this in your imagination and prove it to yourself. That's what I do. I prove it to myself. I'll be like, okay, you know what? I remember I did this in my imagination. Sometimes I forget to write it down, and then I have to go all the way back and figure out the date that I actually did it. And then you can see how long your manifestation took from the time that you did A, B, C, D, F, G in your imagination until it shows up for you. I can't tell you how long it's going to take, but you can. You can figure it out. You can figure out what you did in your imagination and how you were feeling in your imagination. And if you were anxious or if you were at ease, and then you can tell how it showed up for you, if this is what you actually wanted or if you want to recreate something better and different. But only you can tell if you did it with angst or if you did it with love, joy, peace, happiness, and all those fun things, and how it showed up for you. Because sometimes the things that you can also create stuff that shows up for you that is like not cool. You've been doing that all this time anyway, unbeknownst to yourself anyway. So why not now take a little bit of time and do it purposefully, and then make some notations. Get yourself a little notebook or, recorder. Make it fun. Be an investigator of your own wonderful human imagination. How long does it take for you? What did you do in your imagination? And how did you create something? So that's my little tidbit for this Sunday. Barb says, I remember when and also living in the end both helped me. Yes, living in the end is also a really good tool. Some people find that to be very helpful. Do you use that one, Linda? Living in the end? Okay, now I really can't hear you. I think it's the... Okay, now I can't hear you. I don't know if everybody else can hear you, but I can hear you.
Well, if I muted myself.
I'm sitting here going, well, let me act like I can hear her because I can't hear her. And if everybody else can hear her, let me just act like I'm hearing her, and then maybe I'll be able to hear her.
I remember when that happened. Anyway, yeah, I think the last time I really used that was when I was moving from Arizona to finding a new place to live from Arizona.
Right. I remember that one.
Because I'm really happy here. So, like a lot of things, you sort of get settled, and then it's like you get complacent. It's like, well, I can do more, or I'm ready to do. The other thing is sometimes you just need to sit and you need to kind of tune into the vibe of the area and stuff.
Right.
And let's face it, COVID's changed a lot of how we do things.
Right.
And so to us, this is still new. I mean, we haven't been doing it a year. But it's just, there are groups that I belong to, and they're finally just now getting around to deciding, oh, well, I guess we can do stuff on Zoom. We don't have to, not be in communication with our group, and we can do it this way. And we can do all these little special interest groups within the larger group that a couple of places I belong to. It's like, it takes them, it's 6 months. Like, we could have done this a long time ago, but now we have, now it's caught up. So that things are new. I mean, things change here sometimes every day, depending on, whether it's the fires or the smoke or the air quality or tourism, or there's just a lot going on, and it's different. A lot of this is different for me because I've been here over a year, but the weather pattern that I came in is basically not the normal weather pattern, and I'm finding that out now.
Right.
So so that's sort of still different, and how you dress. Mm-hmm.
And again, we also have the, we in the Indigo room who also follow Neville, and we just have to remember, and it's sometimes I forget too, that we have these tools that we can use to switch it up, to change things around, to recreate or change or create something new or recreate something that we are experiencing right now. And that is my challenge to everyone this week, is to get back in your imagination if you haven't been doing that already, and spend some time on different things. Just experiment. Spend some time in your imagination on different things. Small snippets. Nothing big and huge. Don't create a whole, like, I made $1 million selling the famous widget, and now I bought a house. No, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to just work on some small things, have some fun with some small things, and write down your results if they show up. I don't want you to just start tracking it. I just want you to write the date down that you did the imagination work, let it go, and then write the date down when it shows up. That's it. Do your imagination, be in there. You don't have to be in there forever about a whole certain scenario. Just go in, go in the door, hit it, and quit it. And then come back out and go on about your business. Have fun, laugh, joke, cry, whatever. Just go on about your business. And then when the situation that you imagined shows up for you, of course, continue to work on your vibration, bringing your vibration up, doing your meditation, looking at your treasure map or your vision board. Right. Doing your best not to fill your mind with a lot of negativity. And then have fun and see what shows up for you. And then just write the stuff down as it does show up. That's it. Make a note of what you did in your imagination on the day that you did it. Leave it alone. And then make a note when it shows up. Because I'm telling you, it's going to show up. That I know. It's going to show up. How it's going to show up? When it's going to show up? I don't know that. But it will show up for you. So I want to thank all of the new subscribers that joined us here in the Indigo Room. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Yay! Barb says you're back. She can hear you now. So hit the like button. If you have not subscribed to the Indigo Room, please do. And welcome to all of our new subscribers. We are appreciating you, and we thank you for being a part of the Indigo Room. If you would like to make a donation, a love donation to the Indigo Room, you can do so. And our Cash App is $Indigo Room, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the description below. And if you would like to follow us on Facebook, that's another thing I'm working on. Well, I'm just going to be quiet. You can right now follow us on Facebook. We're still there. How about that? I'm just going to say we're still on Facebook, so you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can subscribe to the channel by clicking the Indigo Room logo over there on the right-hand corner. It's a little tiny logo, about that big. And I have one-on-one coaching that's still available. And if you would like to join us in the one-on-one coaching, you can do that. Just email us at theindigoroom2@gmail.com. You receive a 30-minute free consultation. And then, we decide if I'm a good match for you, and I decide if you're a good match for me. Okay, that's what the consultation is about. And we have a little fun, and you tell me what you want to do and what you want to become and what you want the coaching for. And you can do that by emailing us at theindigoroom2@gmail.com. And if you're looking to get your mug or any of our other delicious things that we sell in the Indigo Room, you can do that at the indigoroom.org website. Linda, do you have anything you want to share or say before we roll up out of here?
Love you all. Thanks for being here.
We love you all, and I love you too. So thank you for being a part of the Indigo Room. And remember who you are, right? Remember that you are source energy right here in a physical body. Remember that you can be, do, have, and be, do, or have anything that you desire. You really can. And it's not being extraordinary that makes you unique. It's your uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. Join us next week, next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the next episode of the Spiritual Being Human Experiences series episodes right here on YouTube with me, Sydney Chase, and my co-host, my cohort, my sister, my East Spoon Coon over there, Miss Linda Patrick. And we'll see you next week. Have a great week. Love you. Bye. Jazz hands. Bye.